Hey everyone, I am Anthony Scott of ToyHypeUSA.com, and today we're taking a look at the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles classic cartoon series Slash and Leatherhead 2-pack from NECA Toys. I would like to thank NECA for providing this for review, greatly appreciated. So what you see in front of you is a look at the packaging. You see some great animated artwork from the cartoon. Again, this is the classic one, 1987 through 96. And I really like how they went about this packaging. It's pretty much the same layout as the other 2-packs from the classic cartoon. They got great artwork, Slash and Leatherhead, the Nickelodeon artwork, Ninja Turtles logo over there. And the side, you see Slash. And the back gives you a look at the figures in the set. It gives you a bit of a description right there. Pause the video if you need a little longer to read. And here's a look at a few additional figures in the wave. We've previously reviewed all three of these guys. That's Casey Jones with a slashed foot soldier, April O'Neil, which is a bashed foot soldier, and of course Bebop and Rocksteady. And here's a look at Leatherhead. This is the other side. So what I'm going to do is open this up and we're going to take a closer look. And here's a tray shot of the figures in the packaging. As you can see, I've previously taken Leatherhead out of packaging because I needed to compare him to the Turtles in Time Leatherhead figure from earlier this week. It's this guy right here with all that great 8-bit deco. We'll be comparing these again in this review. You see all their accessories around them. A pizza slice, or full pizza, swords for Slash, all kinds of extra accessories here. Some blasters, a couple of lobsters. Leatherhead's tail comes unassembled. That's a chain link there. That's some kind of cuffs or something to hold a turtle or another character. And you see interchangeable hands for Leatherhead behind the blasters. That's actually a separate plastic tray behind there. So let me take these out and let's take a closer look. Hey guys, so as you can see, I've taken the figures out of packaging and they did a really nice job on it. Leatherhead here uses some shared parts and all new deco, some new parts then with the Turtles in Time Leatherhead figure, which I'll show you a comparison in a few moments. But this release here is a completely different shade of skin tone as seen with the cartoon. But there's also this black deco here that's painted in between the ridges on the snout, the nose, some parts on the arm, and as well as the ridges on the chest, and various other parts of the body that wasn't on the Turtles in Time version. And as you can see, there's a lot of reuse around here. The belt is brand new for this release, as are the boots here, but we'll get into that in a moment. So you see some really nice deco and everything here. You can see how the skin tone changes from the front and back, just like other figures. Here's another look. I really like how they did the vest as well. They did a really nice job with that. So here's a look at the back. The tail comes unassembled and requires you to snap that in place. It's ball jointed and it's a little challenging to get in, but if you stay with it, you will get it in. Just be extra careful because it's a NECA figure. You don't want to break anything. So always use caution. I can't stress that enough. And you see more of that black shading in the tail and everything, capturing the definitions, especially at the bottom of the tail there, the back of the vest, which was a jacket, but looks like he ripped the sleeves off. So there's a look there. And I also want to show you guys the hat. You see the two shades. There's the red deco and the brown with some yellow and black lining on there. And I also want to show you guys the interior deco of the mouth. You see his tongue and intestines in there, areas inside his mouth, some black wash. They really did a nice job with that. And again, I said the belt was all new, and this here and this over here can hold the accessories, and I'll show you that in a few moments when we get to the accessories. But I want to give you guys a good look at what this version of Leatherhead looks like. So now I want to talk about Slash. He came out really well. I love the shade of green. Looks really good. It's a nice dark green tone. The armor and piece over his eye and everything, it's painted blue. The spikes are made of like a soft plastic. They're not sharp at all. And you can this one's a little rubbery. You should be able to see it move a little in the video there. That came out really good. Great head sculpt. Look at that smirk or smile, whatever you want to call it. And he also has some black lines giving him some definition, things like there. Nice skull on his belt buckle there. More spikes there. And you see the turtle shell with this thing that's attached to the strap across his torso there. But the shell, you see the black lines in between the spaces on the shell. That came out really good. I really like how that came out. You see all that great amount of detail there. Spikes on the shell. Came out really good. And here's a comparison for Leatherhead. This is the Turtles in Time version with the 8-bit deco that we reviewed last week. This one right here is the cartoon version of Leatherhead released in this 2-pack, and you can really see all of the changes and everything with the figure. So the new parts would include the belt here, which is also on this figure, but it's underneath this new one here. And also you can see the changes to the boots. That is also brand new, but everything else is the same. As you can see, just look at all that. Look at all that great sculpting. I'm really, really thrilled with how these came out. There's a comparison there for you. And the back. There's a look there. And you can see again where a lot of the parts are reused, repainted, things like there. And he came out really good. Let me show you the head sculpts again. So both figures have that hinged jaw. His tongue is a brighter red. His is a darker red. Maybe a little closer to pink. It's hard to tell. But you really get a good look. You see the changes in the eye. This one's more, I guess you can say like a serpent eye. And this one has the square 8-bit design. And here's a closer look at Slash. Here's a comparison between the Turtles in Time video game figure and the classic cartoon character, which you see right there in this 2-pack. The designs are completely different, but the figure actually uses some shared parts, interestingly enough, such as the base of the body. That's complete reuse. Different head sculpt, different variations of the figure, such as the hands with the spikes, things like that. The feet are reuse as well. Here's a closer look at the head sculpt. You can really see the difference there, as well as the difference on the pieces of armor, things like there. The spikes on the knee pads, all new knee pads between the figures. The belts are completely different, and there's a lot more going on here with this belt than this figure here. Interestingly enough, I also want to point out that this design is actually closer to the classic toy from back in the day that Playmates Toys put out, and this one is inspired from the cartoon. But let me show you guys the back. You can see that they reused the shell. They did a really nice job on there. And he has more accessories attached to there, attached to the strap on his belt. This guy doesn't have any. And let me show you the difference between the belt buckles there. So again, like I said, there's a lot of accessories, things like they're attached to it, including the S for Slash. And on here, it's just the skull. So what I'm going to do now is show you guys the accessories. Alright, so I want to kick off the accessories by showing Leatherhead fully geared up. The belt can hold 3 accessories, one of which is the trap, which is hinged. So this here opens up, and I'll demonstrate that in a few moments. And what you see here are these 2 crawdads that can fit into the loops on his belt. These are soft plastic and can also fit in his grip hands as well. There's a look at the one on the side. And here's a look at Leatherhead holding the crawdads. As you can see, he's got a good tight grip on them, and they don't fall out easily. They're really tightly in. Here's a look at some of the soft plastic that I mentioned before. And these are also colored in 2 shades, a light orange, you can see on the bottom, and a bit of an orange red on the other side. And they also have the black paint wash in between the lines there. These came out really good. And here's a look at the trap, which is the other accessory that attaches to Leatherhead's belt. The trap can stay flat on the ground, such as this, and a figure can stand right on it. But it doesn't close the way that a normal bear trap would. The way that it works is more or less it would close about that much, and it doesn't grab their ankle. You would have to do something like this, for example. And then to do a perfect close, just take it off the figure, and like that. but the hinge works great. It's really nicely sculpted, and it's a great addition to the accessory offerings that Leatherhead comes with. And here's a look at Leatherhead's flamethrower. It fits nice and snug into his open grip hand. And I believe that this accessory is based on Night of the Rogues, but I'm not 100% positive on that. So here's a really good look at the flamethrower. I think they nailed it. Just look at that great amount of detail. The paint, the sculpt. Check that out. You could see the handle right there. These look like ketchup bottles right here. Very nicely done. And here's a look at the rope that is meant to tie around Leatherhead or some of the turtles, or basically whoever you want. It's adjustable by pulling the strings here, the long one or the short one, and you can wrap it around Leatherhead or another oversized figure as it's adjustable. It's real rope. It's very nicely done. And it's a great accessory with the set. And here's a look at the net. It can fit right over Leatherhead, another large figure, or it can hold a number of turtles. And it can even be closed shut at the corners. I think they did a really good job with it. There's a look. It's really big, and it makes a great another accessory for this already impressive set. And there's a look at a couple of turtles trapped inside the net with Leatherhead about to drag them off somewhere, likely to make turtle soup. Again, the net is really nicely done. It's a great accessory. And just like the rope, I'm very happy to have it in the set. And here's a look at the manacle. It can tie around April's waist, a turtle's neck, and it's on a hinge joint over there. And this is a real chain link that Leatherhead is holding on to. And here's a look at it wrapped around Michelangelo's neck. It doesn't perfectly close around a turtle's neck. It more just closes a little bit and just loosely fits on there. But that's okay. It looks great. And you can see Leatherhead is able to hold on to the chain with his open gripped hands. And here's a look at Leatherhead's third pair of interchangeable hands. It's the open hands that look like they can grab a figure such as April O'Neil, one of the turtles, whatever you choose. I think it's a gift compared to everything else that was been offered with Leatherhead, offered with Slash, which I'm going to show you guys in a moment. But here's a closer look at the hands. They're really nicely done. It's the same hands as the Turtles in Time figure. And they did a really nice job on it. All right, we are moving on to Slash's accessories. He comes with a pair of swords that are, the blades are shaped like a katana. They did a really nice job there. They painted them very well. And it can also be stored right on his back here, right where the strap meets the shell. And also this sci-fi looking backpack is removable, but I tried to play around with it a few minutes. It's kind of really snug in there. It will take a little bit to remove it. So I'm just going to leave it on. I don't like to play around with fragile things. I like to be careful. So there's a look at the swords. They really did a nice job on this. You can see both sides. Has that black deco in the groove there. That looks really, really good. And here's a look at Slash's pistol weapon. It almost looks like the weapon used that he used in the show to turn Vern into a turtle. And they did a really nice job on it. Here's a closer look at the nice, crisp, clean paint applications. It's mostly white, light gray, with a little bit of red and black. As you can see, some dark gray too. And here's a look at the other side. I think they really nailed it. It fits nice and comfortably in his hand. It doesn't work with the trigger here, though, for his fingers, unfortunately, but it's a good grip nonetheless, and it's a great accessory to have. And here's a look at Slash's blaster rifle accessory. It's from the same episode as the pistol, and it looks really good. You can see the great sculpt, the paint apps with some great, nice, crisp lines. There might be a little bit of bleeding right here, but it's not such a huge deal. There's a look at the front of it with 3 blast points. That looks really good. And here's a look at the other side. It's identical to this one. I think they did a really good job on it. And next up is that almost half-eaten pizza slice. And with this, I think it's supposed to fit inside its mouth and he's supposed to hold it. But on this particular sample, it just keeps falling out. So I put it in his hand, as that was pretty much the only way I could get it to stay. But they did a really nice job on the paint apps and everything. Nice, crisp and clean there. And here's a look at the palm tree that it comes with. It's very small, fits in his hand. It's made of soft plastic, and they did a really nice job with it. I believe on the show he calls it Binky, but double check me if I'm wrong. And you can see it's very, very soft plastic, very fragile. And it doesn't stand on its own. You're going to need a little help with that. Maybe a little tape or some way to get it on the ground where it can stand up. But overall, it looks great. And it's a great little bonus for the set. And here's a look at the tiny little unmutated version of Slash that Rocksteady of the Twosome Gruesome is holding on to. This is just and here's a look at the tiny little version of Slash that hasn't been mutated yet. It's the baby turtle version, and you can see Rocksteady holding on to him. He's very nicely well sculpted and painted. So there's a look there. You see the great sculpt, the paint apps, and there's a look at his head sculpt there. I think they did a really nice job on it. And wrapping up the review for Slash and Leatherhead, you can see both figures together holding a couple of their my favorite accessories that they come with. But again, they come with a lot of accessories that we featured in this video and on the written portion and photo gallery of the review, linked below on YouTube. Overall, it's a great set. I'm very, very happy to have these characters in line. And I can't wait until they get to more characters. Fans will definitely love this set. It's available right now at Target and NECA Store pre-order, so make sure to get your orders in. And thank you again to NECA Toys for providing these for review. Make sure to pick them up. You don't want to miss it. Stay tuned for more coverage. We'll be doing a lot more Turtles reviews and news for years to come. And thank you so much again for watching. This is Anthony Scott of ToyHypeUSA.com. Please like and share this video. Please follow us on social media. Links below on YouTube or on the upper right-hand side of the website under Follow Us. Thanks again for watching, and see you soon.